Butler County 911, where's your emergency?
So my neighbor just shot my dad.
Do you guys have problems with your neighbor?
Yes, he's come over multiple times making statements.
Is there anyone else in the household with you?
No, just us two.
Just you two. Stay inside the house. Keep the doors locked. I know that's hard for you to accept right now, but I need to make sure you two are safe.
I was letting my dog out, and I heard shots, and I said to my son, what the heck was that? And I look in the backyard, and that man's walking away from my husband. He's come over like 4 times confronting my husband because he thought he was a Democrat. Why? Why? Please.
Okay,
I don't understand.
You know, Ohio family is never going to be the same because a neighbor thought the father there was a Democrat. We just talked a few minutes ago about threats coming into election offices and how the people want to exercise their Second Amendment right. I'm just trying to figure out when we're going to discover that this is what they believe it's for. Here's some details of this situation. So family members, they did call 911 after hearing these shots and finding that Anthony Lee King, who's 43 years old, he was unresponsive and bleeding in his backyard. The family told the dispatcher that the neighbor had confronted him before about some perceived political affiliation, as if that's his right. He's come over like 4 times confronting my husband because he thought he was a Democrat, as you heard on that call that his wife said. More, the suspect just walked back onto his property is what the son who called told the 911 dispatch. According to the son, the neighbor has come over multiple times making statements saying he's insane. Let's take a look at a picture of this guy. His name is Austin Gene Combs. He's 26 years old. He was arrested a little bit afterward and charged with murder. We wonder how that Second Amendment right thing is going for him, or the fact that he could care whether or not his neighbor was a Democrat. It doesn't matter. You're going to jail. You're gonna ask some fellow inmates if they're Democrats too before you get into any kind of situations with them. Who knows? It doesn't really matter. I want your thoughts on it first before we continue to expand on how this got to this point.
On the surface level, I say that gun violence, gun culture in our culture is very pervasive. It leads to a lot of death. It leads to a lot of people politicizing how we possess firearms, and they glossing over the lived reality experiences of people in correlation of gun possession equal gun violence. The second thing I think of is like, were those men listening to rap music? Were they listening to trap music? Were they listening to, because I'm really thinking about the way in which rap music and black people are pathologized for killing each other. The last thing I state is a statistic. You feel me? In 2019, it found that 88% of the time that black people were killed, they were killed by other black people. The study also found that 80% of white people were killed by other white people. We see that every time we talk about human relations in our country, one of these engagements are always pathologized, and one of them is just seen as human conflict. This story right here made me think about that. Rest in peace, Offset.
Yeah, and based off of who he's around, what he thinks, some altercations, some assumptions, maybe drunk, high, who knows? But those things aren't asked when we look at this guy. Look at his picture again. Does it look like somebody you want to be nearby? But we don't always say, hey, look out for that guy who looks just like him. That's not the prototypical look of who we're supposed to be afraid of and run away from.
Bro, look like he an extra off of Orange Is the New Black. You feel me? He looked like one of the CEOs we should have been watching. You feel me? On Orange Is the New Black. You know what I'm saying? Or he looked like somebody that'd be on Handmaid's Tale as somebody that one of the commanders pushing around. You feel me?
Things that you're not supposed to be afraid of, according to the way society works. By the way, society's been talking about this political violence for the last, 10 years? Let's take a look at this chart. Terrorist attacks in the US by ideology and how much is shot up. You won't be surprised that the dark red graph of there is from the far right. Just saying. But you'll still hear Carrie Lake say the Democrats are coming for us. You'll still hear Marjorie Taylor Greene say the Democrats are coming for us. And in fact, they're already here. But you won't see them point any of this stuff out. In fact, whenever we see this, they'll say it was the victim's fault.